So this guy, see, that's a little bit more than a few scratches, but apparently this guy survives in seat 11A, which they say traditionally is not the safe.
Feeding me bullshit too. So I don't know. So now I haven't talked to any of those guys personally. Now they would know, of course, but they're not going to talk. And if they do talk to me, then I'm not going to tell you unless they tell me I can tell you. So, so if any of you guys that are on that mission want to contact me and tell me the real thing, real deal, I think I got a good. What I just described is kind of like the real deal, but unfortunately, there was a time where I was having people telling me that they had been contacted. So I don't know. So that's a tragic thing. Now I believe those guys because they were part of SEAL Team 6. They were taken out because SEAL Team 6 was the guys that basically killed. And probably Obama was part of that. You know, so that these things happen. These things do happen, guys, where they will make a sacrifice, like we're seeing today. Prince William's billionaire pal, billionaire. Prince William, who's probably going to be the next king, because I think Prince Charles is going to die or has already died. I don't think that's Prince Charles. I think they're deciding when he's going to die. So supposedly he's got cancer. So Prince William's polo playing pal, Sanjay Kapoor, a well-known Indian billionaire and chairman of global car parts giant Sona Comstar, collapsed while playing a match in the UK. Apparently, a bee flew into his mouth, into his throat, and he got anaphylactic shock and died. Was he going to talk about something? Did he know something? Is that why that bee flew into his mouth and he died from anaphylactic shock? Now, being in SEAL teams, you know, all of us are trained, you know, medical. I can put tourniquets on myself. I can, you know, give myself an IV. I can, of course, give it to anyone. I can pack wounds with, you know, with clot agent, all kind of crazy stuff. I've kept pigs alive that have been shot up and blown up. My pig that I kept alive there was like, I think 20 or 30 pigs. The pig in my little group, we kept ours alive, and they kept shooting it and blowing it up, and we kept it alive. So I know how to do that. There was one time I was in the Philippines. We're going on a swim, run, swim, run, swim, run, swim. We do that all the time, SEAL teams. So I'm running, and I grabbed my fans out of the truck, and I got my booties. I sat at the curb and started putting my booties on, and I started getting stung by ants. I'm like, damn it. So I was trying to wipe them off, but there's a lot of them. I said, I'm just going to run in the water. They'll just drown. So I ran into the water, put on my mask, and started swimming because it's a race, and I wanted to win. I always win when I get in the water. I'm the fastest guy in the water. I got these long fins, and I just blow everybody away. I'm not the fastest runner. I'm pretty good sometimes. So I've been drinking a lot. And then so I was having a good day, and so I was stroking it out. I was like, I'm gonna win. And I'm like, I'm breathing hard. I'm like, my mask feels like I'm gotta like loosen up my mask. It's too tight. What the hell? It was perfect before. So I'm like stroking it out. I'm like, and I'm passing everybody. And I get out first, and I run up to the guy that's like, you know, he's like a corpsman. And he's like checking everybody off. And I pull off my mask and I run up. It's like, Jaco. And he's looking at me. He's like, come over here. I'm like, uh-oh. What? So I go over, and he's like, he reaches in his bag, gets Benadryl. It's like, looks like you might be going in an anaphylactic shock. And I was like, what? And he's like, your face is all swollen. It's red. Don't worry about it. You're good. Because you learn, you don't tell people like, oh my God, you're going to die. Because then you're like, you get worried, and you're like, oh shit, and you go into shock. So we don't do that to each other. So he's like, "Oh, you're good." I was like, my face was swollen up and I was all red, and I was like breathing, you know. So he gave me a shot of Benadryl, and I was good. So here you have Polo. You have, the kings and the queens and the billionaires, and you don't have somebody that's with all these horses and all these billionaires on these polo ponies. You don't have somebody that can do something for anaphylactic shock, and no one can recognize that. I'm suspect. I am suspect. What did that guy know? What was he going to say? Inquiring minds want to know. All right. So, word to the wise: don't hang out with the royals. They're not your friends. And if they see you as a threat, you're going to die with a bee down your throat. Right? Or you're gonna fall and a nail's going to hit you in the tongue and it's going to like impale you into your spine, into your head, because you're going to talk. Right? So they send a message to everybody else: don't talk. You learn something, don't talk about it. All right. So, and that's the way I am when I learn stuff. I don't talk about it. I used to learn stuff about what the 1%ers are going to do, and I'm like, I'm going to forget that. 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 Well, what did they say? I don't remember. I'm going to forget that. What did they? I don't remember. So, all right. So you elite guys, all the stuff that you said around me, I don't remember. Right? I don't want any bees going down my throat. Right? So, yeah. So, and that's what I'll leave you guys with. It's all fun and games until a bee goes down your throat and you die from it. Right? All right, guys. Lots of love, and I'll see you guys next time. Unleashing Intuition Secrets. Will the people of Iran throw off their Islamic dictatorship? I think they will. I remember when it was shortly after 9/11, and there was talk of us going into Afghanistan. And it happened very quickly after 9/11, actually. I'll talk about that a little bit more detail. But I remember going to an embassy party in Washington, D.C. When I was still in the SEAL teams. And I remember I met this one Iranian woman, and she had her son there, and she was visiting from Iran. And she found out that I was Navy SEAL. So I sat down and talked with her, and she was very, very, very charming woman, very, very nice. And she said, the American military in the United States does not need to go to Afghanistan. If they come and take down Iran, the corrupt leadership in Iran, then it will all go away. All of it. All of the radical Islamists all over the Middle East. This was 24 years ago. 24 years ago, guys, she was saying this to me. So imagine if that does happen now. So Israel, Netanyahu, which is hard to believe, but Israel, I would say, not really Netanyahu, because I think he's probably in that position because he's like the Roman generals of old. He's just a hard man, and everybody hates him, but they go to war because they got to. That's kind of what we're seeing, I believe, with Israel right now, because they're kicking all of Iran's proxies, Hamas, and of course, there along the Israeli coast, because that's what it's going to be. It's no longer going to be Palestinian land. It's going to be Israel's going to own it, right? And then because they're taking it, they're fighting for it, they're dying for it. And then you look further north, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and now in Syria, right? So Israel has gone into Syria, has occupied great swaths of Syria, and they have basically knocked the hell out of Hezbollah. Now, Hezbollah many years ago kicked Israel's ass. This time the tide has turned. And now it's a life or death struggle because Israel is not going to stop until the Iranian regime is done. So the people have tried to rise up many times. They haven't been backed by any president. Now, Trump was trying to do it in his last term. But as you guys know, Trump's administration was heavily infiltrated. Trump's administration throughout all the different organizations was heavily infiltrated by deep state. There were leaks every single day, it seemed like. He was having to fire people every other day. It was just a battle just to stay in office for Trump last time. Now, we haven't seen any of that this time. No leaks. Hasn't had to fire anybody. Well, did fire some people. But for the most part, there has not been the firings that he had last time. Alpha Warrior and I talked about this last night in the show that we did together, and he brought that up, and I'm like, that's brilliant. You're right. So it is very, very conclusive, I think, this time that we're going to have good elections, because like I've been saying, he is also saying that this is going to go on until probably about the midterms, before we start to see massive numbers of arrests, because we have to take, like I've been saying, we have to take down the corrupt judicial, because if we arrest people right now and then you have this corrupt judicial, they're going to let them off. They're going to get off. So we have to get rid of the corrupt judicial, and that's the process that's going on right now. Now, there's multiple things going on, obviously, in the United States, but I think we're going to see a regime change. The people are going to rise up, and they're going to be back this time, and they are going to take Iran back. And then we're going to see all of the Islamist groups throughout the Middle East, like that wonderful woman told me 24 years ago, if you take down the corruption in Iran, then there'll be peace throughout the Middle East. We'll see. All right. We'll see. Now, I can vouch for having been throughout the Middle East that it is Iranian influence throughout the Middle East that causes problems, guys. Right. It is definitely. When I was in Afghanistan, they were coming across the border causing problems. When I was in Pakistan, they were coming across the border causing problems. When I was in Iraq, terrible problems, all right? Weapons and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we have seen, and in Lebanon, same thing. We have seen the Iranian influence is an extreme negative. So imagine if that goes away, which I think we're very close to seeing. Now, I've seen reports of the Iranian leadership jumping in jets and leaving Iran right now on a massive scale, because they know the people are are going to rise up against them. They're going to slaughter them in the streets. I promise you that's coming. All right. There's no more Hezbollah. Hezbollah has been destroyed. There's no more Hamas, which would always come to the rescue of Iran leadership when the people started to rise up. And of course, Obama didn't help. Bush's didn't help. No one's helped the Iranian people. But Trump is. Trump is going to help them this time. He tried to do it last time. But like I said, everything was so corrupt, there was no way he could do it. So this time, I believe we're going to see the corrupt Islamist dictatorship of Iran collapse, right? So this is a life and death struggle right now between Israel and Iran. Israel can't stop. Israel can't stop. And Trump has said that he tried to, get these guys to come to the table. He tried for a month and they didn't do it. He says, beware, if you don't come to the table, it's not going to be good for you. All right. So let me know if these videos are not working when I play them anymore. Because it used to be they would play. But I'm hearing from people that these videos that I'm playing now are not working. If that's the case, and I should obviously go in and look myself, but if that is the case, let me know in the chat. All right, so I'm going to share the screen. This is President Trump comes on and talks about what I just talked about.
Said before this attack, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. But with that said, Iran can have a much brighter future. Will never allow America and its allies to be threatened with terrorism or nuclear attack. The choice is theirs to make. We really want them to be a successful country. We want them to be a wonderful, safe, great country. But they cannot have a nuclear weapon. This is an offer that will not last forever. The time is right now for them to choose. Right now, we don't have a lot of time to wait. Things are happening at a very fast pace. Happening right here, they're happening at a very fast pace. So they have to make their move right now, one way or the other. Make your move.
Okay, so that was back in May 13th. That was a month ago. And Trump said they needed to make the move, and they didn't make the move because they're corrupt guys. They're a corrupt Islamist dictatorship, and they can't stop themselves. They don't. And thanks for letting me know that worked 5x5. Good. So they can't stop themselves, and that's the way it's been. In my travels throughout the Middle East, whenever you have a Islamist dictatorship, and it's usually less than 1%. It's less than 1% that had control of America for 4 years. It's less than 1% that have control of just about every country in Europe right now, which is corrupt as well. So Iran, maybe the people of Iran might be showing us how this is done, or at least those countries that haven't done it yet. Here in the United States, we're under attack. We're trying to do it, but we have a lot of people that are unfortunately corrupted, consciously corrupted, right? So we've talked about that. I think we've gotten a lot of people have awakened. So it's very promising. But there is definitely some problems that we're going to still have to overcome. And we're going to see tomorrow in the United States just how bad it might get. All right. So now the situation is evolving. Both sides, and when I say both sides, I'm talking about Iran and Israel, are basically trading back and forth missiles and jets and all kind of stuff. Israel said they shot down, or not Israel, but Iran said it shot down a couple jets. There's no, I can see where that was validated because as we know, leftist, Islamist, Democrats, they all lie. They all lie. And people believe it. That's the problem. And whether that's true or not remains to be seen. Probably not. F-35 got shut down. The female pilot that they captured, maybe. Got shut down by F-14. So, we're going to see this thing go back and forth. Let's look at a little bit more action that's going on over there. Everybody's probably watching the news, has seen this stuff. And then we're going to see Netanyahu come on it. He's going to talk about the situation. Across Israel, Iran launches attacks. So the attacks are going back and forth. I think that we might be looking at the fourth wave. Now, as these waves come in, as more and more missiles, as more and more drones come in, they start to overwhelm, like we've seen in Ukraine and also in Russia. When the system gets overwhelmed, they use up everything that they have, then stuff starts to get through. So we're starting to see things come through the Iron Dome. And Israel is actually getting hit now. The next report that I'm going to show, it looks like there's actually been people that have been killed.
Israel's defense system, known as Iron Dome, knocking down Iranian missiles. Israel's military says dozens of missiles have been fired by Iran, and the explosions are from interceptions or crashes. Some missiles, however, are getting through. These images show one building on fire after it was hit. You can also see emergency services moving into the area surrounded by debris and charred vehicles. Earlier, Israel launched attacks on the heart of Iran's nuclear and military structure. It used warplanes and drones they say were previously smuggled into the country.
All right, so drones and so forth are previously smuggled in the country. Now, how could they do that? Because they have a lot of people in Iran that are supporting this guys. How would they know all the places where to strike and when? Because they killed a lot of generals. They killed a lot of nuclear scientists. They hit the right time, the right places. So obviously there's intelligence on the ground, probably CIA, Mossad, MI6. But the people, as I'm believing, the people are helping this. Just like we saw when we came into France on D-Day. There were people that helped us all the way through Europe, all the way into Germany, right? So the people are going to be the thing that turns the tide, because it's going to continue. Because now I saw in a remote view that somehow the Iranians, and these visions that I get, sometimes they're, when I share them, it brings awareness and they're stopped out. So that's why I bring them up, and I'll bring them up to scare or help this to become a reality. Because people say, well, if I focus on it, if I hear it, then it's going to become a reality. No, if you focus on it and you're scared and fearful, and then you create energy, you give it energy. Yes. But if you say, no, I don't want that, you send it love, like I've taught you guys for years, it can turn this stuff around. But I did see some kind of jet coming from Iran over the next few weeks or days, whatever, that seems to be shielded in a bubble, some kind of dark field bubble, and it carries a nuke. So they are on the verge of getting a nuke. I don't think there's any way they could launch it and it get all the way from Iran to Israel without getting knocked down. So some kind of new technology, some kind of a vortex type, where this jet is able to move undetected, kind of like stealth technology, but on another level. So I don't know where they get this technology, but I know that they have some very, very advanced scientists out there. So who knows? Who knows what's going to come, guys? I hope that Israel, now where I saw the nuke dropping is far enough away that it doesn't interfere with the Muslim side of Tel Aviv, where the Dome of the Rock is. So they drop it off so it doesn't interfere with that. So it seems like when I saw it, it was dropped northeast. So anyone out there that has intelligence on this or has ability to maybe prevent this, because once it's in the field of consciousness, then people can start to act on it. All right, so that's why I'm sharing that. So anyway, they are launching a lot of attacks on the heart of Iran's nuclear and military. That's with the help of people that are on the ground. And don't think that on the other side they have people that are on the ground that are helping them, Iran, make strikes as well.
Attack key facilities and to kill top generals and scientists. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says this was necessary before Iran got any closer to building an atomic weapon.
The Islamic regime, which has oppressed you for nearly 50 years, threatens to destroy my country, the State of Israel. The objective of Israel's military operation is to remove this threat, both the nuclear threat and the ballistic missile threat to Israel.
Among the key sites Israel attacked was Iran's main nuclear enrichment facility in Natanz. In addition, 3 of Iran's top military leaders were killed, including one who oversaw the entire armed forces. Iran confirmed.
Okay, so you have, like you said, you have people on the inside that are giving away information. This has been going on for a long time. Israel's been taking out leadership for a little while now. And now this obviously is happening on the other side as well, but not on the level that Israel in the U.S. with U.S. backing is taking out the Iranian side. So like them, hate them, whatever. There's a lot of people that are on both sides of this fence. I've seen some very, very smart people out there. I'm not going to name names, so people start to like throw rocks at other people. There's a lot of very good people in the U.S. that have, shared good information, and but they're in a box. So for me, I'm way outside the box. I observe everything. I observe all the different pieces, and I observe the pieces of people that have pieces, right? That are focused on their piece and everything else. They attack Trump. They attack his plans. I'm not like that. I look at the everything. I look at everything. I think this is moving in the right direction, right? Of course, there's a lot of people that don't believe that. They don't think that it is. And they make, I think, are not good comments to help this move in the right direction, continue in the right direction. If you have critical, input, that's great. But just to thrash and bash, that's not helpful. And I'm saying that I know there's some, like I said, some very, very insightful commentary out there, but it comes from people that at this point should know better than to, at one time they loved Trump and now they're bashing him. I just don't understand that. Right. So, and some of these people are from the intel, CIA, former CIA, former military, and so forth. And they're just on just nonstop bash sessions, right? So it doesn't help. Yes, point out if you have your own opinion, if you think this, you think that, that's great. It helps all of us put the pieces of the puzzle together. But to go on bashing sessions, at this point, it's not helpful. So I hope that gets through. I think there's a lot of people out there. We want to see the world become a better place. The only way to do that is to work together, right? Yes, you have a piece of the puzzle. That's great. And you, if you can't think outside that box, it is what it is, right? I come in and I look at some of your stuff you have in your box, and I'm like, that's interesting. Oh, you just went on the bash session. That's not helpful. Stay focused. So, anyway, I don't think that this is going in a bad direction. We'll see. I mean, you're like, well, you just said it was like going to be a nuke. Yeah, that would be bad. But are people dying on both sides? Yes. Are people about to die in the streets of the United States? Yes. Are people about to die on the border of Mexico and the U.S.? Yes. All right. People choose. People have certain thoughts. Those thoughts attract. Right. So thoughts attract or repel. So choose your thoughts wisely. All right, let's go a little bit deeper into this, because we're seeing that some of these are getting through now. Some of these missiles.
Things that kicked off from here. Yes. So this is Tel Aviv as we speak. Try and find out where anything that I had here was.
All right. So Tosi TV, he is Iranian. His parents are still in Iran. He is talking about possibly doing his shows. I think he's in England, and he's talking about possibly because I've been talking about this for years, and I've known this for years. If the regime of Iran collapses, he is saying he will do shows in Iran. Right? I wish him luck. I hope it happens. All right, so I think that's going to be better for the world. You don't like Netanyahu. You think that the Palestinians haven't done well under Netanyahu. Yeah, but the Hamas are horrific. That 1% that control the Palestinians, the Hamas leadership, the radical Islamist, they have controlled completely, and they have been funded. They were funded quite heavily by Obama and Biden. So, and that helped them to, stay in existence and suppress their people, control their people like slaves, like the Democrats want to do here in America, like the Europeans want to do in Europe, right? Not all Europeans, just the leadership, right? So we have to learn how to remove our leadership. Now, what a lot of us are talking about, I've had Juan Osavian on, and last night when I was talking to Alpha Warrior, all of us are talking about how there is a very good chance that Trump will be the one that goes down in history for changing the elections. Can you understand how monumental that would be for the world if we really had fair elections? We wouldn't have these 1% monsters running the show. We wouldn't have it. So if that happens, which I believe it will, especially in this midterm, then that's going to translate into it changing around the world. So the monsters that are trying to maintain control and trying to maintain consciousness of the few now, because everybody's turning on them. It's just a matter of time. And it's a race. It's the race to try and wake up as many as possible and gain enough momentum so that we don't go into a full-scale crazy land, right? So that's where we're at. I think we're going to turn the tide. Trump will be, like Juan says, he will be remembered for having changed the elections. He'll go down in history. And when you think about it, that would be incredibly monumental. Because let's say that the people of Iran get rid of their Islamist crazies, right? They're one percenters. Then what? Are they going to have elections? Yeah. Are those crazies going to somehow come back and control those elections? Possibly, right? So it has to be some kind of system that I think we're close to coming up with here in the United States, right? And Juan has talked about that, how it has to be white clean, and then every single person that's voting, that's eligible to vote, will have to re-register. No problem, right? If for free and fair elections, duh. So that seems to be that they're going to try and make that a problem. But I think it could be done in a very short period of time. And that's kind of one of those ideas that's out there. Whether that transpires or not remains to be seen. So things are moving in the right direction, but will it actually make it? It's a race. Like I said, it's a race. And if we look around the world like we're doing right now, and we look at England, so England is trying to make people that are protesting illegals, trying to make them arrest them and charge them and put them in jail for 10 years. No, we're not doing that to the people that are protesting now to keep illegals in. But in England, they want to go after the people that are protesting the illegals because they want to replace us with them. Duh. So that's why there has to be a massive pushback. And fortunately, that's what the Supreme Court in, I guess, England has done.
Has blocked Keir Starmer's government order to jail protesters in Northern Ireland. Chaos erupted, fires, riot police, and unrest filled the streets, not from terrorism or sectarian strife, but from the fury of ordinary citizens who have had enough. In the midst of this unrest, Starmer's administration attempted to push through one of the most authoritarian legal moves in recent British history, quietly imposing 10-year prison sentences for protesting immigration policy in Northern Ireland.
So for protesting immigration policy in Northern Ireland, and of course they would do that throughout Europe if they give an inch, just like we saw with the COVID, if they give an inch, if it's some health department in one county gets away with it, it spreads like wildfire in these leftist cities, right? And it did, and then it spread into conservative cities too. So it could spread if they get that through. Just like in New York, they wanted to do concentration camps, literally concentration camps for those that had been vaccinated. And we put the word out, and they quietly stopped it. And then they tried to come in under the radar, and we found out about it, and we brought it up again to the world, and they stopped it again. So it's the same thing. It's the same process. These criminals, these 1% radical Islamist Democrats, leftists, Nazis around the world are going to try and control the rest of the world. And they've done this over and over again. So we have to watch them. We can't let them get away with it because they want to replace us with these immigrants that can't speak our language, that can't even speak their own languages or write in their own languages. They want slaves, idiot slaves, to take over so they can manipulate and control them. We're getting too smart for our britches, right? For them. We're ready to replace them, and they're going to fight to like replace us with immigrants, right? So this is the battle that we're in. It's not just in America; it's around the world. Obviously, it already happened in Iran, right? And with the help of Europe, with MI6 and the CIA, right? They overthrew the government there in Iran, and then they brought in a puppet, the Shah of Iran, and the rest is history. And then they had the Islamists come in. Now the Islamists you don't think that they're not controlled either by the by Mossad and all these other groups? Yeah, yeah. Ultimately, they're controlled by the Jesuits. Crazy, right? Crazy. They're ultimately the ones that have to go bye-bye, right? The Jesuits, right? Jesuits. So, a lot of information coming out about that. Now, how many troops are at the U.S. border right now? 10,000. So another thing that we talked about last night, and there's some really very smart generals, major generals, and so forth that are talking about it's pretty much, it needs to be go time down at the border. And so I think they're building up for that. So the cartels that are pretty much controlling the other side of the border, not all of Mexico, but pretty much the Mexican government can't do anything. And the amassing of troops that is happening down at the border does not make sense other than we're getting ready to go into Mexico. And many of us have been saying this. It's going to happen, right? So that will be a good thing. We need to go over and destroy the Mexican cartels. They have incredible power. They have military equipment that's unbelievable. And they're going to be part of these riots that are coming up, guys. So we have to go to the source and take out the source. You can fight for the next 20 years like we did in Afghanistan in our U.S. cities, or we can take out the source. What do you guys want to do? I'm telling you, the smart guys are telling you what we need to do, right? So that's where this goes. That's where this is going. And that's going to be the smart thing that's going to come. Now, the Army is going to have a nice DC parade, and it's going to start at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. And they're going to have all kinds of tanks, beautiful tanks and strikers and armor personnel carriers and probably marching soldiers. It's going to be very beautiful. It's going to be very patriotic. Helicopters and jets flying overhead. It's going to be amazing. Might be a little bit of a rain, right? Might be a little thunderstorms here and there, but troops don't mind, right? Because we know how to train, how to fight in every weather imaginable. So if they get a little wet, oh well. But it is hopefully somebody's going to control that weather for the better and make it don't rain on our parade. But in the meantime, all around the country, there's up to 2,000 protests that are happening. What's going to happen in those protests is going to be very, very interesting to what happens in America going forward. Because if I mean, we all know that these leftist Democrat cities, states, so forth, will support and allow protest to turn violent. Because we've already seen it in LA. Now, LA now has 2,000 more National Guard. So there's 4,000 National Guard and 700 Marines. And all the compromised police that are there. Right? So, for the most part. So you have to have those there. So that's almost half of what's down to the border. In one city. And you have Marines who are the most capable fighting force, closing with and destroying the enemy of any fighting group in the world. 700 of them. A lot of them probably have combat experience, right? All of them have been trained in combat. All of them supposedly, and I'm sure they have been trained in crowd control and so forth, supporting law enforcement, supporting National Guard. So nokings.org. That's where you can check to see where the potential riot is going to come to you. I think that most of those 2,000 won't be riots, so probably are going to start to press and see if they can start to set up. Now, LA, for as long as that happened, obviously it had massive support, had money coming in, had people that, we think they're cartels or so forth. Maybe they weren't even cartels, because all the hoodlums in the neighborhoods are like, if anybody comes in our neighborhood, anyone from those riot groups, we're going to kill them. So I don't think they're involved, right? So obviously there's someone else that's acting like cartel, or maybe they are cartel. I don't know. Maybe they're another group of people that have been trained, that have come from other countries, because we know we have upwards of 1 million, 10,000 that we know of that are trained terrorists. 10,000 that we know that have come into our country that are trained terrorists. Now, I've told you guys often that if I had a platoon of SEALs, and we're talking like 14, 16 guys, most cities of America, we could wreak so much havoc, it would be unbelievable. And we saw the same thing happen in India several years ago, where you had a group of highly trained men with explosive vests and machine, rifles and so forth, working as small groups, small unit tactics. Well, went through, I forget the name of the city, but they went through a city in India, and they shot it up for like 3 days. They were able to get it. They would go into a hotel and go room to room, floor by floor, and kill people. So it wouldn't take a lot to come into a city and wreak havoc. And if you got thousands, which we do, thousands, tens of thousands that are here, Mumbai, yes, Aspen Place, thank you. So if you have tens of thousands, millions that are here to do these things, then you could wreak a lot of havoc. So 200 Marines have been deployed to protect the Wilshire Federal Building ahead of Saturday's No Kings protest, a nationwide event bankrolled by big Democrat donors in the midst of the LA riots. So the LA riots, like I've been saying, are basically just a test. Rodney King riots were a test. LA riots are a test. Trump basically stopped them out. Remember how last time he finally started calling the National Guard and it stopped the riots? Obviously, they learned from that. And I guess the Democrats didn't think that Trump would call their bluff, and he did. And not only did he call their bluff, but he raised them and brought in Marines, right? Can that be replicated in other cities? Maybe we have to see the violence first. Maybe you guys that I've been telling you for years, get out of the big cities, get out of the big blue cities, you're going to find out. You effed around and you're going to find out now, right? You effed off. You didn't around, you just effed off. You didn't do your due diligence, right? So June 8th, at the direction of the President, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth ordered the mobilization and deployment of 2,000 more California National Guard soldiers bringing the total to 4,700 that are now in LA. What do they know? They know something. They know something. Wealthy donors behind the No Kings protests include Walmart hirist Christy Walton, Indivisible, which organized protests against President Trump during his first term. So you have people that are skilled in this already from Rodney King, guys. They're back at it again. They know how to run these things. They know how to like draft people, train them, pay them, get them on site, drop off equipment like bricks and face shields, and probably they drop off food and water for these people. So it's going to get a little crazy out there in some of these cities going forward, and then we're going to learn. We're going to know about it. All right. So now, last night when the raid started happening, Israel started hitting targets in Iran. The price of silver went up pretty good. Started to take off. Gold took off. Crypto collapsed. The futures on the stock market went down heavy. They recovered some, but at the end of the day, they still went down. At the very, very end, last few minutes, somebody decided to go brave and buy into the stock market. Maybe somebody knows something. Maybe on Monday it'll be up, and then they'll like pull the rug again. I don't know. It's a lot of manipulation. I would not be in the stock market, but that's up to you, you guys. What I would be in is silver. Now, I'm gonna share the screen. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because I know a lot of you guys even have money to invest in anything, unfortunately. But some of you guys over the last several years have taken my advice. Maybe you're holding some silver, so you'd like to see it go up and make you some nice bankarola. So right here, we're looking at the current price, which is $36.37. At least when I check this out, it might be more, it might be less. I don't know. But as you can see, we have to go way back in time to get to a similar time. Now, see how we're at 36? See how I'm like, if you go straight across, you have this line. You have this line going all the way, really, not so much here, but you have this line that goes across, definitely here, 12 years ago or 14 years ago. Yeah, 14 years ago. All right, so I want you guys to be aware how quickly this thing can go up. So if you go back and price, let me see if I can find that one spot. March 25th, 2011, it was around what it's at right now. It's 36 right now. If you go back a day or so before that, it was 36. I can't do it because it's not. It won't do it. It just jumps too big. It's, moves by big dates. So if you go back to February, it was 32. By March, it was 37, up $5. By April 8th, it was 40. And I think a little bit past April 25th, so 2 months out from March 25th, it was at 46. So, up about $20. So what was going on? What was going on during that time frame? Did the world almost end? Did the world almost end back then, 2011? What happened? What was it? Let's look. So when things go shitty, silver goes big. Everybody goes big into silver, more so than gold. Silver will explode upwards. So March 11th, 9.0 magnitude earthquake in Japan. Tsunami killing thousands. March 11th. So around that time frame, all right? So 2011. Remember that date? 2011. There's somebody else that went bye-bye. That was Osama bin Laden, and I helped track that boy down, and my old team went and got him. So same thing, and Fidel Castro resigns his position. Norway is victim of twin terror attacks. The world population reaches 7 billion. Egyptian revolution of 2011 begins. So it was like things were getting a little cray-cray, right? Just like now. Things were getting cray-cray. So we have a lot of potential earth change events that are coming, guys. I've been warning about that. Volcanoes are going off on a massive scale. Now, at a minimum, with all the volcanic activity we're having up to this point, which I think we're going to have a lot more, we're going to have a very significant winter around the world. Because remember, I've been telling you guys, it's going to get colder and colder and colder. And not only is it going to get cold, but with all of this particulate matter from the volcanoes in the atmosphere, it's going to snow. It's going to block out the sun. It's going to get colder, and it's going to snow. Lots of snow. That's what I'm predicting for the winter of 25, 26. Lots of snow this winter, right? In a lot of places. Probably record setting. And we have been having record setting snows, and they're going to continue. Now, if we look at all of the things like I'm talking about in the 2001 era, right? So that was 2011. So if you go all the way back to 2001, of course, we had 9/11. And it wasn't long after that we went into Afghanistan. And remember that Iranian woman told me, come to Iran. We didn't do it. We went to Afghanistan because the military industrial complex want to make money. We're in Afghanistan how long? 20 years. 20 years. But we won the war within months. But we stayed there. It was crazy. All right, so we had 9/11, obviously September 11th, 2001. And basically, we went in and invaded. And it was pretty much over. It was over in October 7th. No, we went in October 7th. So October 7th, we went in to Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom. And that's where we had the horse soldiers, right? Just had a squad of Green Beret guys just on horseback, like taking over the country, right? They had military airstrikes. They call them military airstrikes, and they move up and they find out where the bin Laden was and his Al Qaeda guys, and they bomb the hell out of them, and then they run, and then they move up, and then they went to Tora Bora. So Tora Bora. In December. So it was the invasion led to the rapid overthrow of the Taliban regime by the end of 2001. So Tora Bora happened in December, the end of 2001. In December of 2001, that was when we had Rangers on mountaintops looking for Osama bin Laden, SEAL Team 6 guys. A lot of them died. A lot of them were wounded and so forth. And then a helicopter from Pakistan came in, picked up Osama bin Laden, and went into Pakistan. And that was it. But yeah, we stayed. We stayed. Right? We stayed and fought and fought and fought and fought and fought and fought forever. So now, Osama bin Laden. So he hung out directing traffic from Pakistan for the next 10 years until August 6th. Nope, it wasn't August 6th. When was it? May, I think it was May 2nd. So I'm just off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it was May 2nd. It was when SEAL Team 6, Red Squadron, my old squadron, came in, and I helped find Osama bin Laden. And so they came in and took the old boy out, or whoever's playing him, kind of like Biden. Somebody else was playing the part. And shot him in the head. He was looking around a corner with his gun, and he got shot. Got shot in this eye, because I saw it. I saw within an hour or so how that part of his head was bye-bye, right? So we're trained to shoot in the ocular cavity to blow out the medulla oblongata, and that basically, there's no trigger pull, no nerve action, bye-bye. So dead, instant. And so, we've heard of people say, I shot him, and then somebody else said they shot him. So somebody in SEAL Team 6 shot him, right? There's people claim it, and I'm not gonna doubt them. That whoever's the best alpha male wins in SEAL Team 6. So there's people that say, was it Neil? Not Neil. What's the guy? Neil Roberts was the guy that died in Tora Bora. He was a guy put through training. But whoever that guy that claims he shot bin Laden, somebody throw it in the chat. I'll check it out. So yeah, no license needed. Right? There's no license to kill for SEAL Team 6 guys. Right? We don't get licenses. We just know. All right. We know who we're told. Okay, you can kill everybody that looks like this. And if anyone has a gun, they point at you, you kill them too. And if they don't have a gun, then don't shoot them. Okay, that's easy. That's pretty much happened. So I guess one woman picked up a gun. She got shot and killed. And another woman picked up a gun. And one of the guys just shot her in the leg or something like that. So that was a good move. Didn't kill her. I guess she was just reaching for it or something. So he ended up shooting her. Yeah, Neil. Is it Neil? P. Neil? So somebody, I'll look it up in a minute if you guys can. Somebody look it up. So I don't have to look it up, right? Robert. No, that's Neil Roberts, the guy that died in Tora Bora. So, and his O'Neill, was it? Oh, yeah, I think it was O'Neill. What's his first name, Gazelle? He was on earlier. Okay, Mikey. Was it Rob O'Neill? There you go. Rob O'Neill. Thank you, guys. Heart on the Lake. You win. So, but we'll give you honorable mention, Gazelle, for saying O'Neill. So, Rob. Yes. Good. All right. So, teamwork. All right. Everybody gets involved here. Right. So I heard from a doctor a supplement for your neurons. So I'm going to be trying that soon. So maybe I won't need you guys anymore. So I won't talk to you anymore. won't be any involvement. But yeah, I will. I'll look at your chats and make sure you're not dissing me. But I have a lot of wrenches in there, so I'm pretty good. All right. So now this is the bullshit thing that happened later. And this happens all the time for us military guys. They set up, I believe, SEAL Team 6 guys, Gold Team guys in Afghanistan. So there was a CH-47 Chinook, which went down. Pretty much a setup for them to go into an area that was hot the way they went in. So RPGs. From the story, what the story is, RPGs basically took down the Chinook. They had 30 American military personnel, 22 of the Navy's most highly trained SEALs, and so that helo, when it went down, it went on a mountainside, and it rolled down. And it went down into a valley, and it burned. And it burned and burned. And rained. God, what? And then it rained, and they're so down in the valley that it flooded. So here they've been like burned to death and cremated pretty much, and then it rained like crazy, and it flooded out the helo, so they couldn't go in and do a rescue for a while. So crazy stuff. Now it appears, and I've heard from people over the years, that at least one, maybe more of those guys survived. So I'm like, did they switch those guys out? I don't know. Did somebody not make it on the flight and he was on a manifest? For some reason, he didn't make it. Maybe he was like maybe he had diarrhea or something from eating Afghan food, and didn't make it out to the hill. Who knows? But I've heard from people that somebody survived, and maybe more. And they could be just bullshitting me. I don't know. But we've seen some stuff over the years that maybe at least one or two, maybe more of those guys survived, right? Yeah, the guy with the curl is one of them. But I've heard from people over the years, and it could be people just feeding me bullshit too. So I don't know. So now I haven't talked to any of those guys personally. Now they would know, of course, but they're not going to talk. And if they do talk to me, then I'm not going to tell you unless they tell me I can tell you. So if any of you guys that are on that mission want to contact me and tell me the real thing, real deal, I think I got a good. What I just described is kind of like the real deal, but unfortunately, there was a time where I was having people telling me that they had been contacted. So I don't know. So that's a tragic thing. Now I believe those guys, because they're part of SEAL Team 6, they were taken out because SEAL Team 6 was the guys that basically killed. And probably Obama was part of that. So that these things happen. These things do happen, guys, where they will make a sacrifice, like we're seeing today. Prince William's billionaire pal, billionaire. Prince William, who's probably going to be the next king, because I think Prince Charles is going to die or has already died. I don't think that's Prince Charles. I think they're deciding when he's going to die. So supposedly he's got cancer. So Prince William's polo playing pal, Sanjay Kapoor, a well-known Indian billionaire and chairman of global car parts giant Sona Comstar, collapsed while playing a match in the UK. Apparently, a bee flew into his mouth, into his throat, and he got anaphylactic shock and died. Was he going to talk about something? Did he know something? Is that why that bee flew into his mouth and he died from anaphylactic shock? Now, being in SEAL teams, all of us are trained, medical. I can put tourniquets on myself. I can, give myself an IV. I can, of course, give it to anyone. I can pack wounds with, with clot agent, all kind of crazy stuff. I've kept pigs alive that have been shot up and blown up. My pig that I kept alive there was like, I think 20 or 30 pigs. The pig in my little group, we kept ours alive, and they kept shooting it and blowing it up, and we kept it alive. So I know how to do that. There was one time I was in the Philippines. We're going on a swim, run, swim. We do that all the time, SEAL teams. So I'm running, and I grabbed my fans out of the truck, and I got my booties. I sat at the curb and started putting my booties on, and I started getting stung by ants. I'm like, damn it. So I was trying to wipe them off, but there's a lot of them. I said, I'm just going to run in the water. They'll just drown. So I ran into the water, put on my mask, and started swimming. Because it's a race, and I wanted to win. I always win when I get in the water. I'm the fastest guy in the water. I got these long fins, and I just blow everybody away. I'm not the fastest runner. I'm pretty good sometimes. So I've been drinking a lot. And then so I was having a good day, And so I was stroking it out. I was like, I'm going to win. And I'm like, I'm breathing hard. I'm like, my mask feels like I've got to like loosen up my mask. It's too tight. What the hell? It was perfect before. So I'm like stroking it out. I'm like, and I'm passing everybody. And I get out first and I run up to the guy that's like, he's like a corpsman. And he's like checking everybody off. And I pull off my mask and I run up. It's like, Jaco. And he goes, he's looking at me. He's like, come over here. I'm like, uh-oh. What? So I go over and he's like, he reaches in his bag, gets Benadryl. It's like, you're looks like you might be going into anaphylactic shock. And I was like, what? And he's like, your face is all swollen. It's red. Don't worry about it. You're good. Because you learn, you don't tell people like, oh my God, you're going to die. Because then you're like, you get worried and you're like, oh shit. And you go into shock. So we don't do that to each other. So he's like, oh, you're good. I was like, my face was swollen up and I was all red and I was like breathing, So he gave me a shot of Benadryl and I was good. So here you have you have, the kings and the queens and the billionaires, and you don't have somebody that's with all these horses and all these billionaires on these polo ponies. You don't have somebody that can do something for anaphylactic shock and no one can recognize that. I'm suspect. I am suspect. What did that guy know? What was he going to say? Inquiring minds want to know, right? So, word to the wise: don't hang out with the royals. They're not your friends. And if they see you as a threat, you're going to die with a bee down your throat, right? Or you're gonna fall and a nail's going to hit you in the tongue and it's going to like impale into your spine, into your head, because you're going to talk, right? So they send a message to everybody else: don't talk. You learn something, don't talk about it. All right. So, and that's the way I am when I learn stuff. I don't talk about it. I used to learn stuff about what the 1%ers are going to do, and I'm like, I'm going to forget that. 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 What did they say? I don't remember. I'm going to forget that. What did they? I don't remember. So, all right. So you elite guys, all the stuff that you said around me, I don't remember. Right? I don't want any bees going down my throat. Right? So, yeah. So, and that's what I'll leave you guys with. It's all fun and games until a bee goes down your throat and you die from it. Right? All right, guys. Lots of love, and I'll see you guys next time.